Welcome back. Yes, that was live, Caff. Well done.
Great timing.
Always. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Tale of Wizards and Bribes, where we play Dungeons and Dragons in the Blood Bowl universe. We've saved some people. We've organized stuff, healed, intimidated. We've had some revealing moments.
Alexei ran!
Yeah, Alexei ran.
I didn't run. I didn't run anywhere.
Yes. The storm has been dying down, and the situation is now a bit under control. I know you guys actually have the opportunity to start dealing with some other matters. So let's say that afterwards you're together, and Tyron gestures to you afterwards and says, "Perhaps we should have a bit of a talk, perhaps over a whiskey
or two." I think I want two. Mm-hmm.
I can do with two. Two is fine.
It's
maybe three.
It's been a long night, though. I mean, is this urgent?
Yes.
Probably.
Probably.
Right.
So you go to his establishment and you sit down at a table.
Is joining us?
Sorry?
Is Anatoly joining us?
Anatoly, no, he isn't. Anatoly places his hand on your shoulder and says, "Look, bro, I know things have been complicated between us, but I got you out of a bad situation before, and I'll get you out of a bad situation now."
And I look at him and I whisper, "I think you're misremembering."
I think you're the one that's misremembering. Look, that team you played for, is it still around?
No. When I left, you know they're not.
Well, I got you out before it got bad.
Got bad because
Anatoly walks up and says, "You'll see I made the right move. Sooner or later."
That's what you do. Always making the moves. Gertrude just grumbles and just follows Tyron.
You guys are inside Tyron's establishment. You sit down at a table, and Tyron has a few drinks for you whipped up. The place is pretty much empty. I mean, after the night you've had, everyone's turned in. Tyron says, "I'd really love to hear the story, of what happened."
What happened?
Lenric.
My character smiles and shrugs. I don't
He
know.
deserved it. He had
fell.
this coming.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be the case. That might be the case.
We might be in deep shit. As in, really deep shit.
Look,
My
way I
character
see
just
it.
my character shrugs and shakes his head. The only one, if any of us is in trouble, then it's me. None of you guys are in trouble. As far as I'm concerned, you guys weren't even there.
So we're gonna let you take the fall if it comes to this.
Sounds good.
Tyron says, "Glurk, you can't say stuff like that."
No,
can
Glurk,
think
that's
it.
socially unacceptable.
Why not, boss?
Well, the thing is this. Remember how I told you that this team is very important to us?
Yeah.
Well, why do you think the team was so successful? Never mind, I'll tell you. For a large part, it's because of Alexei and Siegfried, right? When they showed up, things started changing. I mean, sure, Galen had a part to play in it as well. But I think they've been very important to the success of the team. And Lenric, I mean, he's had his moments, sure. But under Lenric's management, things weren't going so well. Until you guys showed up, that is. So the way I see it, you guys are far more of value to the city than Lenric was. So, yeah.
So it's
if Lenric had to disappear.
So now the next thing to do is make sure that everyone sees it that way.
Well, or they never find out the truth.
Exactly. There's just been a huge storm.
A lot of people get hurt in the storm.
Yes, people disappear in storms.
Yes. Well, I mean, there will obviously be an investigation if we say that Lenric just got disappeared or whatever. What did you guys do to the body anyway?
We left it in the mud.
Right.
But
okay.
There were lots of people working in that town. They saw us enter there.
Well, they saw you and me enter there.
That's true. They didn't see us.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I'm an amazing liar, and I'm sure to pull off any story we...
Right. Well, the way I see this, we need to make a game plan for this. But I think the details we can work out tomorrow. We can go with it many ways. I'll send one of my guys out to collect the body. I think it might be useful. So tomorrow morning, when you guys are rested, we'll meet up and we'll make a plan. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sure, boss.
Great. I don't know how Galen will react to all of this.
Neither do I.
So until we know what we're going to do, let's not tell him.
Tyron, and I need a place to crash tonight.
You can stay here.
I think the stables are free.
Any horses
Get
around?
him, you know.
Probably.
Look, you guys can all have an extra whiskey on me. I think you deserved it after this night.
Thank you.
Great. See you tomorrow.
I think the sooner we talk to Galen about this, the better. If he hears about this and confronts us and then we fess up to the truth, we're in a lot deeper shit than if we go to him and say, hey, shit went down. This is what happened.
If we're lucky, it won't come to that. If we are super lucky, people will just think that he was out there, he got hit in the head by a tree or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And then,
my character basically says no. When stuff happened a few years ago, Galen was the one who took me in, who took care of me. If anything, I owe him the truth. But like I said before, I don't need to tell him the entire truth. As far as I know, you guys weren't there. We'll see what Galen does. He's a practical man. If he feels that I still have he's a practical man. If he still thinks I have value to the team.
Tarzan, we could, make it seem like Lenric was doing perhaps more than he actually was. That wouldn't be too far.
Maybe. The thing is that Lenric is a guy who took
Galen was the one. Yeah.
No, Lenric's the guy who took advantage of people.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And Lenric's also a guy who got on my nerves a lot. He blackmailed a friend of mine. And I didn't like that either. He tried to do some things with people that I think were of a higher risk than reward. I didn't like that either. Let's just say,
kind of a dig.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that all of that combined made it so that that I snapped. That's the story.
All right.
Galen knows I don't like that. I never liked Lamric at all.
I mean, it's a respectable decision.
After everything that's happened, might be the only decision I've got.
Sure.
Because it's like Secret said. If I make a different kind of decision and the truth comes out, how can I look him in the eye?
All right. Fine. So, do you want to talk to him tomorrow by yourself, or?
Yeah, it'll be fine. But like I said, I need a place to crash because I don't need my brother waiting for me in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Stay here. I'll make sure no one bothers you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll turn in for the night as well. Tyron saunters off,
Saunter.
whiskey in hand.
A whiskey saunter. Nice.
Alexei, I think we should report to Galen, like, now. Not tomorrow.
We'll be fine and we'll do it tomorrow. There's a storm. Everything's gone to hell. Even he has better things to do right now. Tomorrow morning's fine. And like I said, I'll do the report. You don't need to be there.
Awesome. All right. Night.
All right. So you guys go to your respective homes, and
Yeah, I'll briefly stop Gale when we're outside.
all right.
So, Gale, you
Mm-hmm.
you know Amina.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
How's she doing?
She misses you.
That's sweet. When the whole thing happened, I didn't even stop to think about what it would mean for her. It was just my career was done, and laughing stock. I left, and
She noticed.
if you see her, tell her I said hi or something.
I will. And just so you know, she truly loves you.
There's no such things. Just lies. No one loves him.
Aw, that's
Aw.
that's yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I don't think she would mind if you came back. You can always elope.
I love that. Elope.
Well, good talk. Thank you. Goodbye.
You are the best of persons.
Okay.
Was I there when Siegfried was talking about going tonight?
I think you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were. Why?
Do I have it? Are there any of my boys in the tavern?
Your boys?
There's two of them standing guard outside.
Yeah, I'll just go out and have a quick word with them after everyone's left.
All right. They look at you. They look tired. Hey, boss, one of them says.
Hey, can one of you do me a favor and just keep an eye on Siegfried tonight, please? Just find a shadow outside his house and make sure he doesn't wander off anywhere.
One hell of a night. Yes,
Yeah, I know.
sure, boss.
All right. I'll see you get a bonus.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I'll go off to bed.
So Siegfried goes home.
Yep.
Sees to it that he's...
Yeah.
Sorry?
Puts up his usual tent and stuff. Make sure he's safe from the storm and everything.
But you have a house, right?
Yeah, but I also have spells. They're cool.
Yeah. So you cast 2 alarm spells or something, right?
I cast Alarm and I sleep inside my tiny hut, which is a very, very cool spell.
Ah, yes.
Leomund's tiny hut. It's always warm and comfortable inside. And
You're such a nerd.
That's not the kind of tent pitching I thought he was doing.
But the tent is new, right? Because that's a spell that you've just learned.
Yeah, Leomund's tiny hut is a fairly new spell for me. I had it for a while. But yeah, it creates a dome that people cannot enter from the outside, and where I can sleep safely. And since my my touch of Tzinch, I've become a bit more paranoid. So having this spell up when I sleep helps me doze off. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Does anyone do anything over the sleeping time, or do you just sleep?
I think we just sleep.
Okay.
I think
Sounds like it. Yeah.
I think Alexei meditates and then just falls asleep eventually.
All right. Well, morning comes and a few more hours pass after that as well, because it's been quite a night. And the next day you wake up. Does Alexei want to meet up with the others before going to see Galen? I mean, he wants to talk to Galen by himself, but does he want to see them before he goes?
I think if he runs into them on his way, he'll talk to them. But if he doesn't meet them, he's not.
All right.
So he might run into Glurk, because probably Glurk's staying in the same place.
Glurk, he'll probably run into Glurk anyway. So the two of you will definitely see each other before he goes.
All right. Morning.
Morning.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
You sleep good?
As well as a man can.
Well, after bashing a man's head in with your foot? Yeah, no, imagine.
Yeah, maybe I don't have to. My character almost said maybe not have to fake an injury in the future, but he does. I clap Glurk on the shoulder and say, "Thanks for all the help, dude. Maybe I'll see you later."
All right. Have fun.
My character goes off to.
All right. Let's say that for the sake of convenience, I mean, I don't think it would be too strange for Secret and Gale to show up around that place to see what's going on.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So you guys show up and you see Alexei just as he's about to go to talk to Galen.
So, big day.
What are you gonna tell him?
The truth?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Not the whole truth. I mean, the whole truth would involve all of you being there as well. That was not part of my proposition.
But if
Seriously gonna take the fall for this?
If you don't include my part in this, that makes for a much less compelling story, though.
If you don't want to be involved, I'll think of something. I am going to have to name you.
Yeah.
But I won't name what you were there for. Because you weren't there. Maybe I got there before you could.
Reacted before you had anything to react to, so to speak.
That'll be fine.
Well, if I never see you again, shouldn't we at least get our story straight?
I think if my story's done, he'll either just ask you a few questions, or he won't ask you anything.
So I was never there?
Let's say I did this to help you out.
It's around at this time that a guard comes running towards you, and when he
Stab Siegfried in the eye.
yes, no, that's not what he does. The guard comes running towards you, clearly heading to Alexei and Siegfried, and when he gets to you, he stops and he tries to catch his breath for a while. He says, Galen is missing.
You what?
Galen's missing.
What?
Galen von Raukov is missing.
As in missing...
What do you mean? He wasn't in his quarters? He left?
The guard captain...
boy!
I don't know. The guard captain told me to get you guys.
All right, let's get to the guard captain, and apparently he wants to speak to us.
Oh.
All right.
Push the guard to lead us towards the guard captain.
Right. Well, Glurk notices that all of this is going on, or maybe Tyron notices and
Send
kind
Glurk
of gestures to Glurk. This might be interesting.
Sure.
Whichever case suits. And the four of you head towards the castle. Glurk probably notices himself.
I noticed something.
Yes. And as you head towards the castle, the guard has caught his breath a little bit, and he says, I don't know much myself, he tells you, but I know that he wasn't in his chambers, and he was supposed to be there.
He's not where you left him last night.
Basically.
So he's been misplaced.
He's not a thing, Siegfried.
Let's talk to the captain of the guards, because maybe, I don't know, maybe we don't know anything yet, except that he's missing.
All right. You guys are brought to the castle. You pass through the gate, and you're again reminded that this place is quite a fortress, well defended with a fair amount of guards, high walls. The castle itself also has a gate which is closed at night, which you also pass through, and you come to the chambers of Galen's chambers.
Okay,
and
there's a couple of questions that I have, which I think my character might already know. One is, does Galen himself do magic? And two is, do I know anything about magical defenses of the castle?
There are spells that ward any sort of teleportation magic from happening inside the castle.
That's one, yeah. But as far as I know, Galen is not a spellcaster himself.
Galen himself is not a spellcaster, no.
Yeah, right.
You are brought to Galen's room, and inside the room, you find that there is a bit of a mess with one of the dressers in the room having been damaged severely, and there are some signs of struggle near the table at which Galen often sits. You see that the guard captain and a few of his guards and a servant are talking amongst each other when you get there. And the guard captain Johnson, looks up to you when you get there, and he says, "Great, you're here."
Might want to clue us in what exactly you think has happened?
It's really strange. It's a bit of a mystery, to be honest.
I hope no one touched anything.
Well,
touching all over.
I mean, a little bit, but we've tried to keep the clues intact as much as we can.
You guys trying to lick stuff.
I've been trying to figure out what could have happened myself, but look, the biggest mystery is this. They're leading inside the room. There's a door, which is always guarded. There's a window, which is barred, and no one should be able to get through it.
Who discovered he was missing?
And that was this young woman standing next to me. Let me check her name. Yes. Let's see. Nicole, one of the maids. And Nicole courteous to you and says, yes, I'm the one who discovered the scene.
Okay.
Johnson...
was there one guard at the door or two?
Always two, Johnson says. But the main point is this. No one saw him leave through the door. There's no way that he should have been able to leave through the window. And there's no teleporting.
Yeah. Well...
But you can still cast spells within the walls, but just not teleport.
True.
Okay.
Can you teleport out?
No.
Yeah. Did the door open at any point? I mean, other than... Yeah, I guess the moment she went in to see...
Yes. I've tried to collect what events had transpired. But, it's, to be honest, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, what did transpire? What do you have?
All right. Well, this is what I learned from talking to everyone. Let's see. So, starting back early yesterday morning, Lundrik had a few meetings with a few people. He met...
Galen, you mean?
Yeah, Galen met a few people. Sorry. He met a foreigner called Conrig. He met an influential noble, Niels Neshman. He met...
Do I know whether that foreigner is from the place where the soldiers were from?
No, it's a different place.
Yeah.
And
can we ask him? Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
There were two locals who visited, and they were young women who seemed to want to impress Galen in some sense. There was a dark elf that visited.
Clerk, that's your cue.
Let's rage now.
Alright, yeah.
And your brother, actually, I think, he points at Alexei.
Bum,
My
bum,
brother came to visit.
bum.
He nods, yes.
Who was the last one to meet him?
The dark elf.
I assume he didn't see them in his chambers, though, right?
Well, I mean, the thing is this: this room is his
Private quarters.
his private quarters. It's not his night chambers. And it happened more often than not. Well, often enough anyway, that Galen just worked all hours through the night, or just fell asleep in front of his desk, and he didn't particularly want to be disturbed when this happened. So it was a common occurrence, really.
Huh.
Okay.
So there was a guard shift at around 12, and then Galen was also visited by Tyron, who I believe you know. He looks at Clerk.
Sure.
And after that,
Wait, this was last night.
no, this was the morning, the middle of the day, lunchtime.
Okay.
And afterwards, he went to oversee a practice game of the team. It's not. I mean, it was a while until he was back. There was a bit of a strange event. There's 2 dressers in this room, and he points to the one that's damaged. He says, "There's this one, and there's this other one," and he points to the other dresser. The second dresser, he gestures to the drawers on the front of it, and you see that they are damaged as well.
Yeah.
There was a sound while Galen was gone, and when people entered the room, we went in to discover that the dresser had been knocked over.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, we just righted the dresser and just presumed that it had nothing to do with anything.
so that
Yeah,
he
because
was still here
dressers
at the
knocking
time.
over themselves is totally normal.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird, I suppose, but
But he was still here at the time,
well, Galen was gone when the dresser was knocked over.
but not missing, just out.
No, he was watching the game.
That's all right. That seems like the most obvious thing to start with. I go outside of the room where I expect all the evidence to be, and
Yes.
I start ritually casting detect magic, because that seems like an obvious place to start for me.
I move over to where the dresser that fell over was,
Yes.
and basically just give that a look over. I'm not really good with the investigating.
Oh, you can give it a go anyway.
Do I
Yeah,
do
I'll-
investigating or perception?
Investigation.
Yeah, I'll give it a once over after I'm done with this as well.
Okay,
I am the
It's
worst.
not bad.
Oh, even for me, that's not bad.
that's pretty good.
Especially for me, that's not bad. That's great.
Yeah, that's a pretty good result. So Alexei looks at the dresser that was knocked over, and what he notices about it is that on the behind on the back side of the dresser, there's actually some indentations on the rear end of the dresser,
Okay.
which seem to imply that there was some sort of force that suddenly
knocked it over.
knocked it over from the back. But
Alright.
obviously the back of the dresser is against the wall.
All right, so I move it away from.
Yeah, there's a wall. You can see some of the same marks on the wall, but there is basically a wall and a dresser, and there shouldn't really be anything between it.
All right.
So it's a bit odd.
All right. When I've moved the dresser, do I see like scuff marks or footprints or dust that's moved underneath the dresser? Because if it's against the wall, there should be.
The dust. There isn't too much dust under the dresser. No.
What's that?
That was my phone. Sorry.
So they
That was the weird sound they heard.
I thought it was like the you solved the sound for this.
No. That would be great, but
Mystery
no.
solved!
Nothing, you just leveled up. So no, is it normal for it to be this clean under? There's another dresser. I'm gonna look over to that dresser. That one's just as clean underneath. This doesn't mean anything.
The other dresser, it's not as clean as this one.
All right, so clearly the other one recently somebody decided to clean under the dresser.
Maybe
I'm not sure that they cleaned, but there's definitely less dust there.
while casting my ritual spell, which takes like forever, I say,
Yeah.
sounds like the cleaning people have instructions to clean the secret entrance as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Secret entrance, of course, he has a secret entrance.
Go look for a lever or something. I continue my casting.
All right, cool.
You hate when smart people start nosing in while they're doing other stuff at the same time. I hope his spell fails and he needs to do it again.
Well, the guard captain says if there is a secret entrance, I didn't know about it.
Well, let's try and find it. I don't know. Okay, so the bookcase fell over, so probably the lever isn't in the bookcase. So I'm trying to check, like near the wall, trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to be perceptive here, Allard.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check for it. What are Gil and Glurk doing while all of this is going on, by the way?
There's a desk in there, right?
Yeah. There's a desk where
the-
Galen was sitting most of the time.
Is there any letters or papers or anything weird?
I mean, Galen has a lot of paperwork that he was working on. You see that the guard captain is a little bit, worried about it when you start looking at the papers. And he says, all of this stuff is, pretty confidential.
I say, it's okay, she's a reporter.
God, you're so helpful today, Siegfried. I just want to see if there's anything weird here. That's something that could make someone want to kidnap him, or for him to want to leave.
He nods. Well, there's actually a lot of bits and pieces of information in the documents, and it might be most. Well, I mean, you could look into. It's too much to look into all at once. But perhaps you could look into the people who, if you can find anything related to the people that visited, or maybe other people that might be interesting to look into, something like that. It's too much paper to look over everything all at once.
Yeah,
like that.
Okay, I look for stuff that mentions, especially Alexei's brother.
All right. There you do find a bit of information where he has documented Anatoly's visit to him, and Galen pretty much wrote that Anatoly tried to convince him that it was best for the team for Anatoly to be more involved, and that Anatoly could really help Galen. And Galen felt that Anatoly had some sort of angle in all of this, but he wasn't sure what it was.
Always.
So Galen kind of just tried to keep him, just say that he would pretty much consider it, but didn't really plan to do anything with it.
Alexei, your brother's a bit of an ass, right?
Why do you bring up my brother all of a sudden?
Just tell me he's an ass, right? I mean, he told me shit about you that I wasn't really supposed to know for that article of mine, but, I mean, he's a total douchebag, right?
my character just shrugs and just carries on with the searching.
Okay, I'm gonna keep I keep the papers.
All right, cool. It's also you've also found a bit of information that reads about Tyron apparently discussing with him in the past that Anatoly is apparently linked to some sort of organization that's sneaking around in the shadows, and the Tyron says that he doesn't really know what they are about, and that concerns him.
I just mumble, say, yeah, he really is an asshole.
And that's all you find about him.
The
Okay.
only thing is about my brother, at least he's consistently an asshole. He doesn't try to patronize you with false sensitivity and warm hugs. No, he's just always.
Always complete ass.
My youth was the best.
Does Glurk do anything, or?
Glurk leans against the wall.
And he does it really well.
Doesn't find anything.
This would have been the perfect moment to just click.
That's your 20.
I was hoping for either a nat 20 or a natural 1, and then we could see where that went, but I went in the middle. I decided, bugger it, let's get an 11.
Well, I mean, Glurk leans against one of the walls with such force that you find out that it's a pretty sturdy wall, and you feel that at least at this spot there's no hidden passage.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
It's half the
Happy to
battle.
help.
All right. So
Let's go back to my really awesome perception roll.
yes, your awesome perception. Yes. Oh, that is pretty good.
You didn't even see.
Yeah, you look around and you're pretty sure that there is no lever or anything like that to be found. If there is some sort of secret passage here, it is hidden in a way that you don't think that anyone will be able to find it with normal means, because you felt like you had a pretty good look around. So,
Magic.
Siegfried's spell is finished.
Finally.
And he casts Detect Magic. And he discovers that there is magic in the room. And it's located at Galen's desk. He has drawers, and you see that there is an illusion spell cast on the drawers. So
Okay. I try and take a closer look, see whether anything looks weird to me. I can't figure out what spell it is from just this, but I try and look for stuff. Start
yes,
touching parts that to see if they're really there. See if I can I can figure stuff out.
Yeah.
I guess
Roll,
check for traps, because
roll an intelligence
paranoia.
saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw even.
Yes.
Sheesh. That would be. Oh, that would be quite all right.
All right, there you go. When you look around in the drawers a little bit, you find out that Galen has his most important notes hidden away under an illusion.
Nice.
And once you figure that out, you can look around somewhere where you wouldn't normally look around, and you can pull the documents out of it.
Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.